Hello, humans, and welcome to another exciting day on planet Earth. My name is Levi Smith. This is my drawing stream. My camera positioning sucks. My partner, my business partner, brought in a computer, or not a computer, a camera, and some intentions to reset this little setup area here and get it a little bit better, so that we can get some better camera shots and stuff going on, and yeah, make that work a lot better. As you can see, there's a little something in my drawing canvas here. I'm going to use a little bit of reference today. Why the hell not? A little bit more of a plan than usual. I'm going to use this little bee sketch here to do some messing around. We're going to use this as like a little bit of an idea base. Running with no plan. Sometimes it'll be possible. I think sometimes I am going to include something of a plan, an idea that I can work off of. I think I'm just going to end up with some better, drawings. I'm also considering going a little bit longer with these. I don't know if that's going to happen today. It definitely did not happen yesterday. But we'll see how all that goes. We'll see where we are with this drawing. I know that we definitely won't ever really be going longer than an hour with these, just because of the time window that I've got. But yeah, so I am excited to mess around and draw with this bee thing here. We'll see what we can do with all of this. I think we're just going to get right into it today. So I am going to switch to the Know Me view, where we've just got our little canvas here. We've got our bee. Now I'm going to drop the opacity a bit on this bee, and I think I'm going to shrink it a bit, kind of get it out of the way. And then, as per usual, that's kind of a heavy line there. I'm just going to draw, you'll see my line, that the layer of the bee, the reference is under what I'm drawing, but I'm just going to kind of mess this canvas up a little bit here. One of the things that I like to do when I'm just doing kind of sketching like this is just to immediately junk the canvas up a little bit. That way I can get past any idea of making any errors or anything like that. That's really not the process that we're here in this kind of practice, as it were. This is kind of looking a little waspy. So right now, yeah, I'm just going to look at these basic shapes and play with those. Work those out and put them together into this drawing. I'm just going to look at these. I'm not worried about exactness of any sort. I'm not going to be, this is not going to be a reproduction of this poor little bee on a pen. I'm just taking some parts here to quickly get to something that I can work off of. I don't know. I mean, other than using this bee as like a point of reference, I just ran into it, looking at pictures and stuff online, as I do, and I was like, oh, this is cool. This is cool. We could, maybe we could do something with this. I wasn't necessarily thinking that I was going to do some kind of reference for the channel, but I did, looking at it, I was like, this would be cool. I think this would be fun. This will get us moving. It's kind of hard to see some of these details here with these limbs and so some of that I'm probably even just going to fake without getting too worried about honest anatomy and stuff. But yeah, so this is moving along pretty quickly. And so we're going to I think we're going to cut out our reference now. One of the things, like every move I make, I'm glancing up at this picture of this bee. And often I will say that you want to draw something, say like a dragon, and you want it to be original and custom. You're not looking to like do a reproduction of any kind. But you do know that you'll basically need some reference and stuff here and there. So one of the things that I would generally do with that is put together a sketch of a dragon before looking at any reference, just to really get like the truth of my vision and idea, out in a tangible way on paper, as it were, and then get into the reference, and then that way the reference can help inform my original concept versus kind of like sabotaging or overriding or heavily influencing my original concept, as it were. I don't have an original concept with this. I really just wanted to just kind of like lift this bit of the bee here, and then kind of play around with that. But yeah, and then also, in that idea of, say, like you want to draw a dragon, and there's a bunch of reference that you're getting into and you're looking at, because every image that you're going to find of a dragon is fictional. It'll also help to get into like looking up images of lizards. Birds of prey, I think, help really well as far as like posing flying dragons, stuff like that. But looking at all kinds of lizards, amphibians, stuff like that, to really get some unique and a little bit more realistic patterns and stuff, biological patterns, animal patterns, and then that'll really help you with some of the detail versus just looking up, painting and drawing and fictionalization after fictionalization of a fictional creature. You can actually start adding in a little bit of realism, looking at some features and stuff of real life animals. And damn, get me a drink here. So anyway, we got this bee, and that I really like that reference because it was just a good straight on kind of profile of a bee, so I could just play around with something that wasn't too crazy. I could even just kind of develop something with this, I mean, because this is a really interesting and cool biological shape. There's a lot of efficiency here. So what could this be, co-opted into? I don't think I'm just going to draw a bee. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start putting in the greenies. And we'll start adding in some stuff here that's mechanical, and play around with that. I think this will be a nice little shtick to run with here for today. Yeah, so with this channel, one of the things that I have in mind for the concept of it is not necessarily so much as like a Bob Rossi kind of drawing channel, and not also something that's just kind of like a bunch of finishing work, inking final pencils, or going over some already pre-drawn underdrawings and stuff. I want to show the wandering. I want to show the mistakes. I want to show how messy this process can be, and I think should be. I want to express a little bit more of like the raw thinking versus more of like the polished experience thinking. There's a lot of you can watch Bob Ross, say for example, and you're watching an expert move expertly. Everything seems simple. Everything seems obvious and automatic and natural in such a way. I mean, because that's the display of like his mastery in painting. When somebody really makes it look easy to that level, I mean that's a display of mastery. That ease and that efficiency of movement and decision. Where I don't necessarily want to show that here. I want to show a process of sculpting, of searching, of play, and also of failure. I'm not afraid of any of these looking like crap. I'm not afraid of anything here turning out to be something that's junk. And so, and I want to show that process, that real, not the highlight reel, but the actuality of a drawing process, and for anybody that's getting into drawing or that's a hobbyist that plays around with drawing and stuff, I want to show that there's these looser approaches that can often be more entertaining and more creative. And open things up to exploration and to having a bit more fun with the art. Drawing for me started off as almost like not almost, it's like literally like an art therapy kind of thing. And then over the years, I mean, I didn't start off good, as it were. It's not like anybody was particularly wowed. I drew just as good as any other 8, 10, 13-year-old that I knew, but I just never quit. I had so much fun with it that it wasn't that I was particularly talented or skilled, I don't know, or had any other kind of thing other than I was just obsessed with drawing. I was totally locked in as far as what it gave me, the relief, the mental health relief, and that's one of a big reason why I still do a lot of free drawing, why I insist on trying to do a lot of free drawing still, and as far as that, stuff that's not dedicated to like commissioned work, tattoo work, or anything else like that, because all of that has to come in with a whole different range of expectations and approach, and so part of this is just kind of going, just doing it, letting the mind wander, and having fun. That's one of the first things with it. If you struggle with it, if all you do is fall short of these expectations or these visions in your head, it's like, this doesn't work for me, because it doesn't come easy. It doesn't come easy. It doesn't come automatically. It takes a lot of work and study just to suck, and so it's a hell of a journey, and it's one that it's not like you got to start this at 10, and if you didn't, you can't get anywhere with it. I've met artists that didn't start until they were 70. Tons of people that noodled on the side, that still could easily, venture into the world of art and and make a mark. The success is more about connection than it is exactly about any kind of like technical skill. And if you can make that connection, you got like Charlie Brown, which isn't exactly the most skillful of cartooning illustration, um, but yet one of the most important, in American culture. Snoopy and Charlie and Linus and Lucy, and like 30 other Peanuts characters. Most of them are lost to time, like Shermie. Um, but yeah, so it's not always about being able to do it the best. It's about doing it your best, and at a level that you find entertaining, and fun. Because that's what's gonna get you the relief. You know, or drawing something that is relieving. There's a lot of dark art out there that comes as an expression. You got to get that stuff out. And if you can't get it out uh, in therapy, if you can't get it out to family and friends, if you can't get it out in any other way that feels safe or correct or expressive enough to you, art's a great place to get that out. There's a lot of things that we experience and go through. There's a lot of feelings. There's a lot of existentialisms that there are just no words for, and and so a medium that doesn't rely on words can be really effective, really powerful, um, to get some stuff processed and expressed and out. And even if you never show it to anybody ever, it's out. Um, and it's not unusual for artists or just uh, normal people to have like these secret little stashes of drawings and poems and stuff that end up being the truest core of their being. Um, the most sincere example of their experience um, in this world. And to me, that's incredible. That's one of the things that makes this process, makes art just so awesome, and wonderful and beautiful. This little guy here. All of a sudden, this is some kind of spaceship. Let me see here. Except it's kind of in there, kind of awkwardly. Oops. And so, we'll rotate him. Look at you. Now you look like you're kind of in there a little bit more. But your perspective is wrong. You should be. Should be like this. Should be an absolute mess. Yeah, why don't we bump this down? Come up to another layer. Let's take this idea here. Play with. So yeah, and so once I've got this, that scribbly sketch, where there's no fear of making any mistakes or doing something that's silly or whatever. There's just no fear. It's just you open up that creativity, and then you come in with something a little bit darker. You take a light board and you trace over it. You do what I'm doing here digitally, and you drop the opacity of that layer, make another one on top, and then you can go into things and play with it more. And this still isn't a finishing stage at all. This is still explorative, but it's a little bit more dialed in. You've got a little bit more intent. There should be quite a bit more understanding of like, okay, this is my my general structure. This is my my general composition and stuff. If I really need to alter that, I mean, you definitely can. And maybe sometimes going into this stage will reveal other stuff like, oh, wait a minute, maybe I'm not ready to get to that stage. Maybe I need to go back here and work out a few other things. I like to work out my my anatomy, my posing, my proportions, basic a general perspective. All of that stuff I like to have generally figured out in that scribbly stage. And then also, you find out that you don't like where it's going, and it's not going to work out. And then that's a great place to abandon it. You just spent 5 minutes, scribbling out a bunch of poses, a bunch of postures, working on something that popped into your head, and then this one sucks, or I'm not feeling it, or whatever, whatever it is. If you don't jive on it, because that's really what matters. If you get a little tickle in your brain while you're drawing, it's like, ooh, this is cool. Oh yeah, I like how this is turning out. Wow, I didn't realize that was going to be so, so interesting right there. And then you just dial into that, because that's where you're going to find that adventure on the canvas. I'm going to hide this guy's legs. Put something more, just a helmet, just for ease of design here. Maybe there's somebody else on that side. Alright, so there should probably be a hinge here. This needs to go into the background a bit, and then we're going to move on here. I'm going to do a little time check. What are we at here? Yeah, so about 23 minutes in. Seems like we really haven't gotten any viewers in yet today. I'll be doing this, I don't know, I think I might at least get to a good portion of this. I don't think I'm just going to cut out as quick as I did yesterday. Part of this too, you can watch all these other videos later, maybe not necessarily live. Kenny and I may also take these videos that I'm making through this process and make some edits. Maybe if I manage to pull off something particularly awesome through one of these daily sketch things, then maybe we'll do some video or something about that. Who knows? But right now we're just gonna draw this bee ship. It's kind of like I don't know, with like the cockpit there. I'm wondering, I have to put a bunch of laser guns and stuff coming out here from this beak. This laser gun. We could do. That's terrible. This is something I think we could do with a little bit more kind of perspective. This is like, like in those submersible drones and in other sci-fi and stuff. This is where like little arms and different tools and stuff can pop out and interact. maybe this development here is kind of like well, I don't know, like a construction kind of vehicle. You know, kind of like doing some of the work that like a helicopter would do, except you got all kinds of other crazy doodads and stuff. The maneuverability of a bee or a wasp would be really amazing for human like aviation technology and stuff. That'd be pretty wild. And we're gonna do this. Like some kind of venting or something right here. Need lots of venting. You know, machines get hot. Machines need a vent. And so you need to add some venting. Venting greebles. When you add in different pieces, I'm trying to make things look mechanical. Maybe give that a little bit more of a straight line kind of thing here for these panels. Alright, so we have this. I'm not going to fully worry about the proper anatomy of a bee's limbs. I do think I'm going to look at these as something more mechanical, in a like a robotics kind of way, I suppose. So I come through here, and obviously we're going to slow down because this is stuff that I hadn't worried too much about in the sketching. And this might even be, you know, one of those places where I would go back to, you know, to a lighter pencil. Well, especially if I was working on paper, yeah, definitely. I'd go back to that lighter pencil. I'd soften things up, and I would work on defining some of this stuff a little bit more. But right now, with the power of the digital, even and even, yeah, I mean, this is not, you know, top shelf equipment I'm using. You know, it's not even like mid shelf kind of equipment. I mean, because you're going into like Wacom, you know, the Cintiq kind of setups. You know, that would be like top shelf. And then there's, you know, you're getting into some of the off-brand versions of that stuff, which are still incredibly expensive. And then, you know, then from there you're getting into like the iPad and Procreate and stuff like that. And then from there, you know, you've really got, you know, like the Windows machines and stuff. Good old PC. And then from there you got Clip Studio, you know, which is an awesome program, really inexpensive. You know, and then this Surface, which is about the same as, you know, any laptop is these days. And here we go. You know, it's not so out of reach as it used to be. That's for sure. You know, using drawing tablets on a regular computer monitor and stuff. Like 20 years ago, that was some pretty cutting edge stuff. But here now, I mean, this is, you know, and especially with like iPads and stuff. it's incredible. You know, it's amazing, and that's all great software. It's similar in a lot of ways. All this stuff functions in the same kind of ways. Um, just gonna scroll in some of this here. And so I think it's more available than ever. Getting a digital like tablet to draw on, to make art on. I mean, you can paint. You don't have to buy any more paints or brushes. You don't have to worry about messing up any of that. It's easier to clean up, put away, pull out. Takes up way less room. It's way easier to finish, to publish, to put online. I mean, obviously, here we are. The amount of equipment and expense to pull what I'm doing off right now, say 25 years ago, was just nuts. Just not even worth considering. Just completely out of reach. And now, for how casual it is, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing that just kids and whoever, just us regular folk can get on here and do whatever we want. I think it's awesome. And so I for one, definitely appreciate and enjoy all of this crazy technology and the social media platforms and stuff, to produce and disseminate it all on. But it's all a tool. You gotta be careful and deliberate and aware. You can't be stupid about it. Just like any other massive, super powerful tool that humans have made. And this is one that's really for the masses versus say like particle accelerators or nuclear technology or any of these other incredible, massive, life-changing, civilization-altering technologies that we've developed over the past 50, 60 years, 70 years. This one's really one of those ones for the people. I mean, because even TV was just people pushing these corporations, the powers that be, just kind of like pushing messages out into the culture, the masses, the communities, with very little recourse. You could write letters, you could you could do a few things, but now, I mean, we can just get on. We can make our own stuff. It's so easy now to voice our opinions. That we're getting into a phase of getting carried away with how we express ourselves. And it's still all very new. I mean, for civilization and for culture and stuff, all of this communications technology in the hands of regular people is just so new. But it's amazing, and it'll all mature and it'll all develop, and it will, and it will continue to shape our reality and our civilization, on the level of the printing press, the wheel, electricity on demand, the light bulb. I mean, of course, things aren't as hard as they were, as they used to be. Even now, even when people think that that things are crazy and difficult and stuff, they're not. 2022 is still better than 1922, easy, and that's way better than 1822. No doubt. And 1722, I mean, now you're getting into this point of where it's not even a consideration of just, well, obviously, life is better for every human being on the planet now than it was for any human being on this planet 200 years ago. And I think that we're still moving in that direction. It gets a little wonky, gets a little crazy out there, but it continues on. I don't think that the world's going to end. I don't think we're going to annihilate ourselves. I don't fully think that we're going to necessarily solve all of our problems. I think that some of them will work themselves out in historically already determined ways. I mean, there's just ways that things just end up turning out, and the global power changes, empires rise and fall, and the end result for humanity as a civilization on this planet tends to benefit. So I don't think there's a whole lot to worry about there, at least not on an existential level for humans. Maybe that on an existential level, or on a nationalist level, or on ideological levels, maybe not so much. But we'll see about that. What do I know? I'm just gonna draw a robot bee. It's pretty much just been like putting in these stupid little details. You pile them up and you pile them up and you play around and look at a space and we'll stick a thing there. This works as long as we're really following our shapes. You can still see that original understructure behind all of this, and it and so it all works. And so with that being something that's generally kind of believable, it definitely makes a lot of the rest of it at least passable. So maybe these robot bee legs are terrible, but the structure of things kind of like buys me a little bit of forgiveness. I hope. Maybe not for myself. One of the things is artists tend to not be super impressed with their own work, or struggle with that, or it's never good enough. I will often say, especially while I'm drawing these, about how crappy I'm doing, and this isn't meant to be some kind of like performative. I'll wow you with my with the kind of stuff that I can do. Every single one of these episodes has got that starting screen with a variety of little sketches and other finished pieces and stuff that I've drawn, and they're fairly recent. None of it's like super duper old, so you can see what what I do on that kind of level if you need to. I'm not necessarily too worried about proving myself in that arena, as it were, with this. I'm just kind of having fun, and talking about stuff, and even just kind of showing how this kind of drawing ends up working. Because to me, this is these are the warm-ups. This is the stuff you're not committed to. This is the stuff you're not. It's not for anything. This isn't part of no grand opus master plan kind of project. It's literally just to play, and you can get as into it as you want. They can it can turn into something. It can get more serious. You can be like, oh yeah, no, this actually, I could do something with this. I could sell this. I could make this into prints. I could, put this on a T-shirt. I could do, there ain't nothing wrong with any of that. I've done that many times, and I may still end up doing that with some of the drawings that come from this channel. Maybe not this, but who knows, all right, so we're at like 40 minutes or so. I think this is pretty good. I do have a lot of other things I need to get to in my day, so I think I'm just going to do a couple of quick little things here, just to give this guy a little bit of depth, and then we'll pretty much just wrap this one up. We've got a lot to do today and every day. This to here, here. Got my lighting coming from the back end of this. So let me be a little bit heavier there. Just gonna move quickly. Again, this is just to, this is something that I would end up inking, and going right back over all of this, and then refining it, dropping it, dropping certain details, adding more, stuff like that. But then having an idea of what I do want, what I don't want, and through this whole process of sketching and editing, we can get to something. All right, so yep, that is going to be what we've got today. We did this little bee guy here, this robot bee. Let me just bring up real quick our reference. And so this is what we got. Thank you everybody for coming by and checking it out. Of course, you know how to do all the YouTube thing, the like, the subscribe. We've got the Patreon and all that stuff. Links and more information in the description. And we'll be back here tomorrow. Do it again and again and again and again. All right, everybody. Thank you, and